Glenn Forsyth, and I've had 45 years in the music industry in retail. Worked in small independent stores and big stores, in particular the Virgin Megastore in the late 80s and early 90s. Some time at Gaslight and the famous $10 shop at Southgate, and had my own store for the last 20 years. I knew Howard predominantly in the 80s, but not well. He was a customer at record fairs, if you call it that, and he used to hang around the Virgin Megastore looking for displays and anything that was a knick-knack use to him. But in 1996, we were putting together the $10 shop, and he happened to be working nearby and saw me constructing these cardboard bins for the music store, and he asked the question, "What are you doing?" And I said, "Well, I'm going to have a budget store." And of course his eyes lit up. The next day he came in and saw me with a few lists that he'd already obtained, and I said, "Well, we're going to have all of that. The Turtles, Peter and Gordon, Herman's Hermits, the Kinks, you name it. Most of the stores don't stock this stuff. I'm going to have it all from every company." But music was his big love. So we got really interested in knowing what he was on about. And he was telling me about his autograph hunting. Firstly with sport. I used to try and play games with him. Have you got Fosby from the 1968 Olympics, the Fosby flop, high jump? Oh yeah. I've got everybody you can think of, except weightlifters and shot putters from the Eastern Bloc, which I can understand. You don't want to be around chasing those guys at that time. But he had Jesse Owens, he had Joe Frazier, Muhammad Ali, he had Joe Louis. This is the first time that these records have been made available to the public, and I'd like them to go to a good home. And I've no real interest in keeping them myself. I've got a lot myself anyway from years and years in the music business. I can guarantee the Providence. He met everybody. He went around the world to meet them, and it took him years, and it didn't matter who it was, he got them eventually. Do yourself a favour and hang around just a little bit, and you'll see an interview with Howard in the mid-2000s or 2015, it might have even been as late as that, where Howard explains...
I wasn't getting autographs in the 70s, I just didn't have the idea of it till 83.
So this is something that's evolved later in your life?
Yeah, from about 83 when Simon Garfunkel came.
So they were the first?
Yeah, they were the first I ever met.
Did you get them both?
Yeah, in the Regency. I was very excitedly threw my cap in the air that Bob Dylan had won this Grammy. I thought, wow, I'm the only person here. If he comes in tonight, how happy is he going to be? And the last Ansett flight, about 11:20, doors opened up and I just said, "Congratulations, Mr. Dylan." And I showed him Blonde on Blonde and...
So I knew what you were talking about when you said congratulations?
Yeah. Oh, I assume he did. Yeah. And I showed him the album and he opened it up and folded that album and there's a beautiful woman inside and said, "Ooh, she was a good sort." And I was like, "Oh, I've got him. I'll go for the pen." And he signs it big as this and he says, "I hope you don't sell this in a hurry." Which is, I think what he says to everybody.
Yeah.
And then I fainted in the flower pot. I flaked out. I was
in the flower pot?
Yeah, there's a flower pot outside. I just went, I got the album and...
It was too much for you?
Yeah, it was. Actually, it was.